Let's do another video on Pete Hegseth, shall we? Now, this testimony is from the Senate Armed Services Committee. These are the people that deal with the Veteran Affairs and the DOD and the Secretary of State, stuff like that. Now, Senator Richard Blumenthal was up next, and it started out cordial, as they all do. I mean, it's politics.
Thank you for being here, Mr. Hegseth, and I want to join in expressing appreciation and respect for your service to our country, and thanks to all the veterans who are here today, and thank you for your service as the ranking member of the Veterans Affairs Committee. I hope we can focus on doing better for our veterans and doing better in management of the Department of Defense. There's always room for improvement.
Now, I'm speeding this up for brevity, but I want you to pay attention to where he's going. He's talking about the finances of the Department of Defense and Veteran Affairs.
I think what we need in that position is not just better, but the best in financial management, because those decisions are life and death decisions affecting the 3.4 million Americans who serve our national security and our national defense and put their lives on the line.
He's going somewhere with this. And if Hegseth understood what was going on, he probably would have prepared. I'm pretty sure he should have prepared for what's coming next. I don't think he did.
I want to talk about financial mismanagement.
You see?
At the two organizations that you headed, which are the only test of your financial management that we have before this committee, the Veterans for Freedom and Concerned Veterans for America.
The Concerned Veterans for America and Vets for Freedom. Pete Hegseth ran both organizations into the ground.
In 2008, you raised $8.7 million, but spent more than $9 million, creating a deficit. By January 2009, you told donors that the organization had less than $1,000 in the bank and debts of $434,000. By 2010, revenue at the Veterans for Freedom had dropped to about $265,000. In the next year, it had dropped further to $22,000. You don't dispute these numbers, do you?
Being that he was talking about Vets for Freedom, that organization, and I guess Pete Hegseth thought as long as it got Vets and Freedom in the title, I'm going to keep getting money from people and I can just spend what I want. Listen to his answer.
Extremely proud of the work me and my fellow vets did at Vets for Freedom. A bunch of young vets with no political experience, a small group, working hard every single day.
Now, he goes and tries to defend himself, which, you know, for brevity, I'm not going to play everything, but he really tried to defend himself. But listen to the first part of that answer. He talked about being young veterans with no political experience. That doesn't freaking matter. You are a grown man trying to solicit funds from people because people are saying, hey, you're a vet. This is a veteran's cause. I'm going to donate to you. You should have been more prudent with how you spent the money. He goes on further to talk about how, okay, because it was the 2008 election and McCain was going against Obama, they spent more to try to get McCain elected. Still, that doesn't excuse why you overspent the money you had in your coffers. You will be in control of an $800 billion company, the Department of Defense. So judging by your past history, you're going to overspend for something you believe in. You believed in John McCain, so you overspent. You wrecked your own 501c3 to get him elected. Did you think he was going to repay you if he got elected? What are you going to do with the Department of Defense? Spend all their money also because you believe in something?
By the year of 2011, donors had become so dissatisfied with that mismanagement, they, in effect, ousted you. They merged that organization with Military Families United, and thereafter, you joined a second organization as executive director.
Yeah, they kicked him out. But just for clarity, he explained that at the same time that he got kicked out of that organization, he went to Harvard and did 2 years at Harvard. So now let's get to the next organization that he ran to the ground.
I want to ask you questions about Concerned Veterans for America. 2011 to 2016. At the end of 2013, shortfall of $130,000. At the end of 2014, shortfall of $428,000. You had a surplus the following year, but then another deficit of $437,000. By the time you left, that organization had deep debts, including credit card transaction debts of about $75,000. That isn't the kind of fiscal management we want at the Department of Defense. We can't tolerate it.
So you see what we're talking about when we say the man is not qualified. It's not about him just being a Trump sycophant. That's not the problem. The problem is the man has not managed large amounts of money like that. We're talking hundreds of millions, if not billions of dollars. Put somebody in there that at least has been around that kind of money and knows, damn sure don't put me there. I got to get a catalytic converter fixed. What you think I'm going to do with some of it? Now let's get to managing people, and I'm going to leave you alone. He asked them about each branch of service and how many people serve in those branches. Now don't get caught up on the fact that he got the numbers wrong. Blumenthal was trying to make a point.
How many men and women currently serve in the United States Army?
Senator, the United States Army, 450,000 on active duty, sir.
And how many in the Navy?
And the Navy is 425, sir.
Well, it's 337 this year. How many in the Marine Corps?
175,000, sir.
172,300. Those numbers dwarf any experience you had by many multiples. I don't believe that you can tell this committee or the people of America that you are qualified to lead them.
Now, I'm not saying that they should put former generals, former soldiers, or whatever at the Secretary of Defense position. I'm not saying that. But what Senator Blumenthal is saying, and what I agree with, is that whomever they put up there, they need to be aware that they are managing hundreds of thousands or millions of people. And you got to know how to delegate authority and manage all those people. Hegseth only managed or supervised about 50 people. Now, Senator Blumenthal did say that he would vote for Hegseth to do another position within the Department of Defense.
I would support you as the spokesperson for the Pentagon.
What do you think? Spokesperson.